I now call Deputy Sean Kenny.
Thank you, Last Cancorla. I am pleased to be able to speak on this important legislation concerning terrorist offences as a member of the Oireachtas Justice Committee. The Criminal Justice Terrorist Offences Amendment Bill is a significant piece of legislation with two primary objectives, namely the amending the Criminal Justice Terrorist Offences Amendment Act of 2005 in order to give effect to EU directives agreed under the Lisbon Treaty, and secondly, the bill will allow Ireland to ratify the Council of Europe Convention on the Prevention of Terrorism. The bill creates three new offences in relation to terrorist activity, which are covered by the amending framework decision and also the Council of Europe Convention, to which Ireland is already a signatory. These three new offences are: 1, the public provocation to commit a terrorist offence; 2, recruitment for terrorism; and 3, training for terrorism. This government is committed to combating terrorism, and I think this legislation demonstrates that fact clearly. Ireland needs to legislate to be able to combat terrorism in all of its disguises, and that includes being able to confront, when required to do so, incitement to commit terrorist offences, recruitment in order to commit terrorist offences, and training in order to carry out terrorist activities. Our own history, Last Cancorla, demonstrates why legislating for these offences is important and should enable Ireland to be able to look abroad to our fellow European countries and focus on combating terrorism alongside them, so that the citizens of the European Union can be safe and can be protected. Those who would threaten the lives of ordinary people by engaging in acts of terrorism, whether on this island or elsewhere, must be brought to justice, and they must know that the international community will not tolerate their activity and will take all possible action to prevent and punish it. Of course, it's possible to criticise the comments that I've just made, but as I've referred to previously, our own history must be considered when it comes to legislation such as this. But not only our own history, we should look at recent events, particularly in Paris, where we saw the shooting of a journalist and other people in Paris. Look at the bombings in Madrid in 2004, where a large number of people on trains were killed, other people suffered, and also the similar type of bombings that occurred in London in 2007, again targeting people on public transport. Another event that comes to mind in all its horror, and easily one of the most despicable acts of terrorism carried out in recent years, in my view, were the attacks carried out in 2011 against the people of Oslo and the Norwegian Labour Party. They come to mind because of two copycat attempts that occurred subsequently in the Czech Republic and in Poland. And I think that is directly relevant to the legislation that is before the House here today. While the threat level to Ireland from international terrorism is considered to be low, we must, however, remain vigilant, particularly where the possibility of lone wolf type actions witnessed elsewhere in Europe is concerned. The random and unpredictable nature of such attacks makes them a particular matter of concern. It is important, therefore, that we have all the relevant tools at our disposal to deal with terrorist threats in all their forms and at all stages, including incitement and other preparatory activities. By criminalising the terrorist-linked activities of provocation, recruitment and training, this legislation further strengthens our hand in this regard. I am pleased, therefore, Last Cancorla, to commend the bill to the House. Thank you.